the drill. Team of the major. The graphic says team of the week, but during the major, we had lights out performances, and I don't think this team of the week is going to be a shock.
No.
All 4 players found themselves in the grand final. It's kind of hard to pick players that didn't make the grand final, especially when these players, like, consistently all tournament long, were just turning up. You have a couple players from New York who were going crazy. Of course, a couple players from FaZe who were going crazy. Without further ado, let's welcome Simp to the team of the major.
Yeah. I mean, Lair came to play this weekend.
Yep.
A lot of people have been saying Simp's been looking shaky on the map. He hasn't been playing like his former self. Obviously, they want Cold War Simp back, where he was just an absolute force on the map. We got him back this weekend, even through moments throughout the stage as well. But this weekend, he was coming a little bit differently out there.
Yeah, I mean, Simp, it's kind of like, what would you call it, the LeBron effect, where like he's been so good for so long that he kind of flies under the radar.
And
obviously with Abeezy's season so far, a lot of people, it's more talk about Abeezy than Simp, but I mean, it's Chris Lair. I mean, this is a player that, without a doubt, some of the best awareness in the game, just some of the best game sense when it comes to talent. He's still up there with literally all the best players in the world.
Absolutely.
Simp is by far one of the greatest Call of Duty players we've ever seen. So
he's great.
Simp, I mean, he secures himself in the breakdown team of the week. He had a 1.17 at Major 5, 1.3 in the Control Grand Final, so that's a pretty good Control showing.
Yeah.
And Map 1 goes crazy. Just an overall good showing from Simp all weekend long.
Positive across every game mode. 1.14 in Search, 1.2 in Control. I mean, the guy just had an outstanding weekend.
Yep.
And teams are definitely on notice now because FaZe obviously looking like a real threat to the rest of the league. Again, obviously,
always a threat, but
some people started to doubt a little bit.
Well, it seemed like they finally ironed out their consistency in respawn. Like, yeah, they lost this major, but they looked a lot more well-rounded in hardpoint control.
Yeah.
And that's scary for every other team going into champs.
Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we've got none other than the Bulldog. It's Kismet. What can we say about this guy? He's clutch. He does the dirty work on the map. Him and HyDra as a tandem, just absolutely one of the best sub-duos in the game right now. He had a phenomenal weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Kiz, once again, it's hard not to just... All of these players in the team of the week, every single player in the grand final brought something different, and I think Kiz, I mean, he just had a lights-out performance. He's one of those players where it's impressive the plays he's making while playing the role he's sort of playing, because you have HyDra.
He plays as a faster sub. Like, HyDra, obviously, he lets HyDra work around the map, get his kills, which Paco is undoubtedly the best in the league at this point, and Kismet's a big part of that. You know, they work very, very well together.
He's a great facilitator, but it's not like he's just setting HyDra up. He's also making crazy plays, popping pieces, while also setting HyDra up. So he plays at an insane pace, makes the game easy for the rest of his team. And I mean, I don't have enough good things to say about the guy. He's a selfless player.
Very selfless.
And he's one of the main reasons why New York took this home.
Absolutely. Shouts out to Kiz, making big-time plays throughout the weekend. Next up, Zen.
I mean, I have to introduce him. You guys know I love him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Cellium on the breakdown, team of the major, team of the week. It's like he's here every single goddamn week.
He's here every week.
Popping off all weekend long. It's just his consistency, like the level he plays at on a consistent level. Always the tough kill. That one right there when he was laying down behind the forklift, we were like, how the fuck?
How do you stay alive there?
He was hit by a nade.
Done.
He's elusive, man. I mean, he's a
real asshole on the map.
Dude, he's a dick, and he has a lights out weekend. But it's to be expected at this point. I mean, it's like every single major, every single match, he's showing up and playing dominant Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them, they can't get it done, but still, I mean, he's one of the main reasons why this team is consistently placing top 3, consistently finding themselves in finals, and consistently a threat to every other team in the league.
Yeah, MacArthur's a beast. I mean, just to touch on some of his stats throughout the weekend. Hold on, let me pull up my page.
1.33, number 1 overall KD at the major.
Number 1 overall KD.
Look at the Control KD at major 5. Is that a 1.85? In Control. So in a game mode, almost a 2.0 KD. In a respawn game mode on the weekend, he went crazy in the grand finals. He had the number 2 series damage versus NYSL with almost 15,000 damage.
I'm assuming HyDra had number 1.
Yeah, I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with. MacArthur, one of our favorites, just a good kid. And ever since joining the league, he's made a name to be one of the greatest of all time when it's all said and done. Like, Absolutely. He is consistently always in the conversation. So, you know me. I mean, I can gas up MC all day. I love him.
Oh, yeah. We love MC. But last but not least, I mean, it goes without saying, it's HyDra.
Good Lord.
Applaud this man for what he did this weekend. I'm
going to give him a round of applause right now.
Dude, I mean, I'll follow you up. What he did this weekend, what he's done this whole year. He's been fucking insane.
Yeah. We now have, in our opinion, a new frontrunner for the season MVP.
I don't think it's debatable anymore.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think going into the tournament, it was like Abizi, Octane, Scrap, and HyDra was, of course, in the conversation. But not only he's the only. New York's the only team to secure 2 major wins in the season so far. So shout out to New York for that. And his contribution, he was walking on water versus the best teams in the world. I remember them asking him on stage like how he does it. He's like, I don't know. I just do it.
Yeah.
I just do it.
I feel like that's how, whenever you're at that level, that's how a lot of answers are. Like, whenever you start overthinking and thinking about things a little too deep, that's when it starts to really show in your gameplay.
Yep.
Right now, he's not thinking at all. He's just out there doing it.
Look at him. He's the only NYSL player positive against FaZe, so it goes to show that New York's teamwork is on point, while, of course, he's just killing everything.
Yep.
A 1.3 at the major, the number 2 highest KD on the major, second to Cellium, who's an AR, and as an SMG, we all know ARs, for the most part, they usually have higher KDs. They're on the back line, they're baiting.
Get free kills.
They're getting free kills. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Don't discredit my role.
He had a 1.74 in search. We were talking about how good he was in search. He had the number 1 search KD coming into the weekend, and I think leaving the weekend, he probably also had the number 1, at least for someone that made it far in the tournament. 1.74 search and destroy kill death is nuts. So he kept that up on land. He didn't slow down at all, and it's a big reason why New York find themselves crowned again.
I can't believe it. The kid just cock slapped everybody.
Dude, it was insane to watch.
It's impressive work, man.
He's a talented player. I know, obviously, you guys are going to say you're glazing, but
how can you not?
When you watch that level of play, obviously, you know how hard it is to do it. I know how hard it is to do it.
And I think, dude, remember he walked in the flight and he looked at me. He's like, "You hate me," and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You don't gas me." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yes, I fucking do.
I do gas you.
I do fucking gas you." It's just Abizi's like the front runner for MVP, so it was a lot of Abizi, it was a lot of Scrap.
Yeah. And
HyDra has always been a part of the conversation, but because of New York's inconsistencies, it was kind of hard to put him like with Abizi and Scrap.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, and he's giving me that grin, and I was like, I fucking gas
they got first, 12th, 12th, 4th, and then they get first again. So it's like that 12th, 12th, 4th, it's like, it's kind of hard.
What do you want us to do? And then he just comes out and he fucking slams everybody to win the second. Good Lord.
But our breakdown MVP of the year, it's kind of impromptu, but it's HyDra.
Don't fucking spoil our final episode.
MVP,
forget he said that.
Major 5 MVP, hands down. I think for the year, obviously, like, this is before champs. Like, things are always destined to change. Maybe it won't. Maybe New York goes back to back. But for right now, he is the clear front runner, and I think we call MVP before champs.
Yeah, listen, he's the MVP, and the reason why, and I saw a lot of debate on Twitter. People were trying to debate Abizi versus HyDra now. And while Abizi has had a lights-out season, New York takes home 2 championships, and it is a fair point that the supporting cast of FaZe for Abizi, you have Cell, you have Simp, you have Austin, like some of the winningest players ever, the most consistent players ever. And that's no disrespect to like the New York roster, but HyDra's contribution to the New York roster, it's like they're not winning this tournament without him.
No.
Like they're not.
No.
He literally, his teammates played well, they played good.
Great.
They turned up, but HyDra's contribution was like, he's the reason they won the tournament. He just slapped everybody. So right now, you have to give it to HyDra. He's the season MVP, in my opinion. I think I speak for you. I think it's your opinion as well.
Yeah.
I think at this point, HyDra secures the regular season MVP.